Now, I guess y'all noticed that Steve knows how I've transitioned away from a lot of the gig food delivery stuff, but I've noticed where it has really slowed down a lot, though, at least here in South Carolina. Has it slowed down for you in your market, Kim? I know that you're in a good place, you often say, and Dash, you're in Arizona where it's pretty busy, but has it slowed down, though?
Yeah, for my area, it definitely has. I
Hmm.
always, 3 years in a row, like my area has ramped up during the summer, and we didn't
Hmm.
get that like ramping up like it normally does being down the shore. I can't say that it was like super slow, like, oh my God, I'm in a summer slowdown, but it wasn't anywhere compared to what it has been the past 3 years.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say that for my area, specifically in Arizona, is kind of a interesting area because there's so much migration here. So when I say the migration, what I mean is that like at Arizona, where I'm in Phoenix, it's a college town. There's snowbirds. So just the amount of people in the fall here is so much different than the summers. It slows down just because of that, especially when school's not in season. So it slowed down relatively, but to say that it slowed down year over year, I won't really know until probably another month or two, honestly.
Hmm.
What I've been finding though a lot in my area is there are a lot of new drivers. So,
Hmm.
with the years of doing this, like you get to know who your full-time drivers are. You even get to know who the part-time drivers are in your area. And there are so many new drivers in my
Hmm.
area. Every day I'm like, oh my God, there are so many. Like it's just something you notice, and I just keep shaking my head like, wow, there are a lot of new drivers here.
Yeah. Do you think, as content creators, you may have contributed to the problem? I mean, there's a friend of mine here in the Columbia area. Okay, he's always giving me grief, saying, "You're the reason why we're having this problem now. You gig geezer, you Mister $10,000 a month, you Mister $12,000 a month. You're the problem."
It could be, there's always that risk of being a YouTuber and, having people, know your area. And,
Mhm.
when I first started, I'm like, yeah, now I'm just like, I'm from New Jersey. Like, I don't even, say a lot of time.
But do you think it's us content creators, or do you think it's the 85% of the gig economy who does less than 20 hours a week, who are just coming on maybe part-time or part-time plus and having struggling at their other job or lost their other job?
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a recession. There's
Mhm.
inflation's through the roof. I mean,
I
there's a
think
lot of other I don't think it's content
So
creators because we
I
only
would
Well,
make up 15% of the full-timers anyway.
you
and
you
I would say
get what
the
I'm
other thing
saying.
too is
It's
there's
just
a
that
lot of
there's the
turnover too.
there's a certain visibility that we give to this. People do. I mean, when I really tried to improve my driver rating on DoorDash, this is something I shared at one point though. It took me it took me like 500 deliveries to get over a 4.50 rating. I got on YouTube to figure out ways to um, improve my rating. Okay. Now, of course, you get to look at other content. You may see somebody talk about how I made $2,000 this week. I made $1,500 this week.
Yeah.
And so, you've got this glamorizing of things, and people think that, oh, I can go out there and make $1,200 this week doing DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats. And so, just curious, do you feel that we have contributed to that problem,
So
or is it
I'll
just
say
that?
I'll
Mhm.
tell you this. I'll put it this way: at any given job, I've never seen a extremely high percentage of people that are looking to get better at it. And I think with gig work, just like any other position, there's going to be 10 to 15% that are actually looking to get better at their job. Everybody else is
Mhm.
going with the flow. Now, I'll take
Mhm.
that one step further to say if those people, though, are in your market, they are probably going to come to the store you're showing in your videos. I will say that. So, like, if they're saying my store that where all these at is now kind of saturated, I would agree with that because, yeah, I would agree with that piece of it. Yeah.
I
But just
guess
in general, I wouldn't say so.
I guess I'm just never worried because even if, say a couple people come to my market because, everybody, people know my market. they don't know it as well as I do. Someone who just comes to my market doesn't know where to park, doesn't know the side streets, doesn't know the restaurants to pick up from, doesn't know the ins and outs of my area. I know my area like the back of my hand, that I know this time to be here, this time to I've almost perfected my own system at this point for my own area. So they're not going to have the same experience that I have based off of the knowledge. I mean, they could if they keep going and doing it, for, months at a time. But, I just know my area and I know where to go. So I don't think they're going to have the same experience that I do just based off of what I know.
What I would say to this is that I think that we just have to be very, I mean, we should anyway. I mean, I did an independent contractor piece today where I was dealing with people who write federal legislation and stuff were on the stream with me. So on a very professional level, and it's kind of having me think now that you asked me that, because I think we have to be very careful about how we say, like how you were saying, glamorizing, don't glamorize it. If you made 2,000, explain to people that took you 90 or 100 hours, because that might unglamorize it. Because most people who are looking at these, maybe they're not hearing the hours to go along with the earnings, and I think this is a whole piece. If you're gonna talk about specific earnings, talk about your market. Make sure even though it sounds like a broken record, make sure you repeat that, because like you said, Geezer, somebody could be coming on and catching your first video, and if you're talking about earnings, you have to talk about all of it. Here was my dash time. Here was my active time on DoorDash. Wait, so you spent 40 hours not working at all, just staring at the damn app? Well, I don't want to do that. Don't tell people, like, don't come on and say I made $2,000 and I did it in 42 hours, but you were on the app 90 hours.
Right.
I will agree with Geezer in the sense that we do glamorize it. I think we intend to publicize it to motivate other people who are doing the same things that we do, to educate people already doing the thing that we do. But I think naturally there's going to be people that don't do that find it and say, okay, let me try this. But the amount of people that I think that are actually going to quit a full-time job and go into gig work full-time, I don't think that we're convincing people to do that, no.
No, but what about people who get laid off or fired and can't find another job real quickly and like zap onto YouTube for a minute? They're like, wait a minute, all these people are making, like Geezer said, like, hey, look at these people making $2,500 a week.
Yeah, so I think those people, I think they'll find it. I think they would have found it regardless. I think that we're making the videos now, but I mean, 10 years from now, 15 years, it'll be somebody else.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. I just threw it out there. I guess too, with the economic conditions out there, yeah, people are trying to make whatever they can, whatever way they can. And quite honestly, if I'd known about some of this stuff 10 years ago, I'd probably been in a much different situation 10 years ago. So, I'm glad that I eventually stumbled onto the gig economy, and it has turned things around for me. At the same time, I think though that the gig economy stuff has more visibility than it did just 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Agreed.
And so, and
10 years ago, it was only RiDESHARE.
Yeah. It was Uber and Lyft, depending on where you were. DoorDash, what was that? What was Grubhub? But as Kim says, she noticed the new drivers. Yeah, the dead giveaway for me is those crisp red DoorDash bags that I see people show up with. Oh, yeah. I know that's a new thirsty. That's a new thirsty. First thing comes to mind to me.
So somebody should do a video that says, "Hey guys, don't look like a noob and run your bag over a few times with your car." Like make it look like you've been working for a minute.
Yeah, look like you've been there. Look like you've been there before.
The funny thing is my DoorDash bag had seen its day, and I ordered a couple months ago, like the 2-pack that you get. And I'm like, I'm gonna look like a new. I have over 10,000 deliveries, but I'm going to look like a new driver because I have a new DoorDash bag.
Well, that's why I bought my own stuff. But
I would kind of ask the same thing to you, Geezer, kind of like, how are you feeling about it? Because Like, I mean, here's a perfect example of what I was saying about like way going the wrong direction and leading people the wrong ways. Like those people who put start your own van business for $500. Bullshit.
Thank you for saying that, and not me saying it. I usually am the one who's saying that. Okay.
No, but honestly, that's, I mean, when I see those, I get so mad because I'm like, come on, guys, this is the kind of stuff you're talking about. That's horrible.
Well, I've also been blocked on a few channels for challenging people for saying you can make this, and I'm like, hey, what did you do last week? What did you do in your van last week? Instead of regurgitating and reading from a computer screen, what did you do?
Yeah.
Share what you did. And so that again, that's why I've been blocked on a few channels already because of that. You know what?
I agree with you. You got to show receipts. Can't show receipts.
I mean, like if you know, you and I have talked about it before, but like if a year ago you were talking to somebody who was coming to you that you knew for solid advice, you know, you've known them as a friend for a while, and they said, hey, listen, I really am thinking about this van business. Give me the lowdown. And you did, and you said, yeah, I think you could do well. I mean, would you give that person the same advice today?
Well, this time a year ago, I had no thought that would not have been in my thinking about a van. Okay. So if you ask me that question,
8 months, whatever puts it into the perspective of when you were
okay, all right. Okay, if someone I've known over the years come to me now, I would just tell them to check out my videos, and not so much as trying to be the salesmanship of my channel, but check out my videos and see what I have done over the course of time. And I believe though that with what we do, it is what you make of it, regardless of what it is. It's what you make of it. So you can have all the apps, you can have all the ends of all the brokers, and if you can't make it work, you're going to say that this sucked anyway.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah.